AFCON 2023 and the Super Eagles have downed the Elephants of Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast 0, Nigeria 1. And with that result, Nigeria moved to the top of their table. Are they top? They are second. Equatorial Guinea is top after the impressive win earlier today. And this game, guys, let me just tell you, I have been so impressed by the coaching in this tournament. There are some coaches that I do not know what they're doing. Adel Amrouche, coach wa Tanzania, unafanya nini? I do not know what you're doing. But then there are certain coaches, my personal favorites, Pedro Concalves of Angola, up there. Collins, what's his name? I forget Collins. Someone. The coach of Namibia, another personal favorite. The Mali coach, another personal favorite. Today, I was impressed. Today, this, what's his name? The Nigerian coach showed me something that I did not believe. Jose Peseiro. I didn't see it coming. When the game started, first of all, they made a very crucial change in their formation. Calvin Bassey started this game. Ola Aina and Sanusi. And Troost-Ekong and Semi Ajayi. And so we thought, maybe Calvin Bassey has come to play in midfield, to show up that midfield, because we know the threats that Ivory Coast have is Frank Kessie and Seko Fofana in midfield. Those are the two men that you need to stop. They're the two people who make them tick. And also, Hassan Yusuf was having a very good game for Nigeria in the first game, but he got stretchered off, so he was not available for this game. So I was like, hey, what is happening here? This guy said to go with a back three. And it was really not really a back three, it was a back five. It was a back five of Calvin Bassey, Troost-Ekong, Semi Ajayi, Ola Aina, and Sanusi. And it was changing from 5-3, like a 5-3-2 and a 5-4-1 at times, right? With Osimhen up front. But it was the threat of Ademola Lookman and Chukwueze. And starting Chukwueze was crucial in this game because Chukwueze took it upon himself to be the creative hub. And we've said over and over again, this Nigerian team needs someone who can make that final pass. At very beginning, very early on, Chukwueze was not scared to make that pass. It's something that's in his game, but it's not something that he does a lot for his club, right? So he would come in a lot. They would let Ola Aina and Sanusi just bomb down the wings. Not really bomb down, but take the wings. And Adebola Lookman and Chukwueze, their job was to just try and be next to Lookman as much as possible. And there's something that my boy Daniel Amokachi said. He said that Iwobi needs to move a bit higher forward. But he couldn't do that because, well, I agreed with Amokachi. I thought Iwobi was to move forward. But the way the coach set up the team, Iwobi had a crucial part to play in them defensively. They didn't want Onyeka to do all the defensive work, right? And that's why Chukwueze had to come in and do the more of the spreading the ball in the field. So it kind of limited them a bit because I felt like they were quite defensive. But it worked because you needed to shut the crowd up. The crowd was, the attendance was insane. And it's the home team. You're playing a team that's playing with a lot of confidence. The home crowd is behind them. The place is loud. So I guess it worked in that sense. The first half is just, let's play compact. Let's be hard to beat. Let's not bomb down forward crazily. But when we have a chance, Lookman, Osimhen, and Chukwueze are up front, just waiting for a through ball, for, just waiting. So that's what they did, and I think it actually worked out quite well, to be fair to Peseiro, because second half started and they started like a house on fire, because right now the tempo has kind of died down, the fans are not as loud, and they've basically taken the fans out of the game, yeah? One thing that Ivory Coast did in their squad, I think they only made one change or two changes. They made two changes, obviously, yes. Serge Aurier came in, he was the captain. I don't think he looked fit. He played, I think, about 60-70 minutes. And then they brought in Christian Kouame for Jonathan Bamba. And to me, Kouame he had a few shots on target here and there, but all their good chances either came from Seko Fofana. But Seko Fofana would always give the long ball to Kouame, and there was a shot for Ndika. I remember there was that one. Or the Fofana shot from out wide, from far out. Then Frank Kessie was really nullified. It really worked. This formation, this 3-4-3, this 3-5-2 or 5-4-1, 5-3-2 variation is the way forward for Nigeria, I think, because they're really struggling to create chances from midfield. But this allows them to have the front three really go forward and have their wingers bomb forward as well, and have some sort of creativity from deep from Alex Iwo, because he also has a work rate and he's one of the fitter players. So yeah, going into second half, then like it was a very cagey affair. Let's just be honest, it was a very cagey affair up until Osimhen was kicked in the back of the leg. And guys, I want to say one thing: VAR has not missed a single decision in this AFCON. The referees have been very spot on. Like, the officiating has been amazing, and I want to give you guys kudos. I thought my elbow was ashy. Kudos to you guys. You guys have, like, I do not have a single complaint on the refereeing. We don't have issues like the last time when the referee blew the game 5 minutes early and told guys go to the locker room. Like, it has been really, really good. So big shout out to the officiating at AFCON. I think I will just make a whole video about it and just go VR decision and just see how they're getting decisions right. And the ref is being overruled when he's wrong. Sometimes the ref has missed something, VR is one that calls him in. So I think it's been quite solid. So yeah, Osimhen goes down in the D. Actually, we had not even seen it, So when you check out the replay and VR tells the ref to go and see it, he's kicked to the back of the leg on his Achilles. But one thing about Amokachi is a former Nigerian international. He was actually commentating this game. When he saw the first replay, he's like, penalty. And I was like, yo, Amokachi, it's your job to be neutral as a commentator. But also I kind of understood. I understood because Amokachi is so passionate about Nigeria, the national team. I happened to work with him in 2019 for a day, the Champions League final, Tottenham versus Liverpool, and you can tell anytime you brought up and I had to interview him a bit. Like anytime he talked about his team, like the Super Eagles, his eyes just light up. So yeah, I kind of got it. I was like, alright, cool. But to someone else, they'll be like, he's very biased. It will come off as bias. But anyway, it was if VR went in, I believe it was a penalty, because if you're going to give the one for Egypt, where they gave Mohamed in the 95th minute and Salah started the penalty, stay consistent and give this one. And they did, and they gave the penalty. I was also surprised that Osimhen didn't take the penalty. It was Troost-Ekong who stood up and slotted the penalty home in fine fashion. The man who plays for PAOK Athens in Greece. He's also played for Watford and Salernitana. That was his 5th goal for Nigeria, and I think the 3rd in AFCON. He had scored against Bafana before in previous AFCON tournaments and Guinea-Bissau. So big moment for him, straight down the middle, no nonsense. And after that, it was just a matter of we're just going to play on the counter. It was a chess game. You guys come out, we're going to attack those spaces. And it was just last-ditch defending, like great pace just to shut down people. A lot of fouls towards the end of that match. And the other thing I want to say is that Osimhen's movement, I feel like it's very underrated. Like his movement in the D, actually to lead to the penalty, and also his movement, there was a throw-in that was thrown in and you're like, okay, where is this guy throwing the ball to? And it just went to the front of the post, and he was the fastest person to get there. And when it was being thrown, it looked like he really didn't want anything to do with it. So yeah, his movement in the D today was, for the few moments they had chances in the D, his movement was really nice. I was quite impressed by him. Chukwueze, for me, has to keep playing, moving forward. This was not the game to bring in Kelechi, because it needed someone to just run and run. Kelechi needs those games where things are tight and you need a goal and you need a striker. Or you're playing a team that's not as potent, or the host, So yeah, all in all, great victory for Nigeria. So as we said earlier, they now move up to 2nd place behind Equatorial Guinea, both on 4 points, Côte d'Ivoire on 3 points, and Guinea-Bissau last with 0 points. So next game, Nigeria take on Equatorial Guinea. That's a big game. And Côte d'Ivoire taking on Guinea-Bissau. And yeah, Côte d'Ivoire will just hope for a draw for those two teams and for them to win. But yeah, dope. Group B. That's match day 2 for Group B done. Now we're moving on to that's Group A. We're moving on to Group B.